Question 1. What is the purpose of the Domesday Book commissioned by William the Conqueror? A. To record the outcomes of battles. B. To serve as a royal diary. C. To assess the extent of land and resources for taxation. D. To codify laws across England. Answer. C. To assess the extent of land and resources for taxation. The Domesday Book, commissioned by William the Conqueror, was a survey designed to assess the extent of land and resources in England to aid in taxation and administrative control. Question 2. Who was the British Prime Minister during the signing of the Treaty of Versailles? A. Winston Churchill. B. David Lloyd George. C. Neville Chamberlain. D. Clement Attlee. Answer. B. David Lloyd George. David Lloyd George was the British Prime Minister during the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, which formally ended World War I. Question 3. What are the Salisbury Convention and its role in the legislative process of the UK? A. A protocol on royal succession. B. A guideline for legislative review in the House of Lords. C. A convention ensuring that the House of Lords does not block legislation promised in the government's election manifesto. D. A treaty between the UK and the European Union. Answer. C. A convention ensuring that the House of Lords does not block legislation promised in the government's election manifesto. The Salisbury Convention plays a key role in the UK legislative process, preventing the House of Lords from blocking legislation that was outlined in the elected government's manifesto. Question 4. Name the event that led to the transfer of Hong Kong to China. A. The signing of the Nanking Treaty. B. The establishment of the Hong Kong Basic Law. C. The handover ceremony of 1997. D. The Hong Kong Agreement of 1984. Answer. C. The handover ceremony of 1997. The event that led to the transfer of Hong Kong to China was the handover ceremony in 1997, marking the end of British rule and the beginning of Chinese sovereignty under the one country, two systems principle. Question 5. What principle is the Commonwealth Charter based on? A. The promotion of democratic values and human rights. B. Economic free trade agreements. C. Military alliances and defense. D. Monarchical traditions. Answer. A. The promotion of democratic values and human rights. The Commonwealth Charter is based on the principle of promoting democratic values and human rights among its member countries. Question 6. What significant legal document was sealed by King John at Runnymede in 1215? A. The English Bill of Rights. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Charter of the Forest. D. The Royal Charter. Answer. B. The Magna Carta. The significant legal document sealed by King John at Runnymede in 1215 was the Magna Carta, which established fundamental legal principles limiting the power of the monarchy. Question 7. Who was the leader of the suffragette movement in the UK? A. Virginia Woolf. B. Emmeline Pankhurst. C. Florence Nightingale. D. Elizabeth Fry. Answer. B. Emmeline Pankhurst. Emmeline Pankhurst was a prominent leader of the suffragette movement in the UK, which advocated for women's right to vote. Question 8. Describe the role of the Cabinet Office in the UK government. A. To oversee the judiciary. B. To manage foreign diplomatic missions. C. To support the Prime Minister and ensure the effective running of government. D. To handle the government's finances. Answer: C. To support the Prime Minister and ensure the effective running of government. The Cabinet Office plays a central role in supporting the Prime Minister and coordinating the effective running of government. Question 9. Who is known for establishing the Church of Scotland? A. John Knox. B. Charles I. C. James VI. D. Mary, Queen of Scots. Answer: A. John Knox. John Knox is known for establishing the Church of Scotland during the Reformation in the 16th century. Question 10. What was the primary reason for the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Religious differences. B. Economic disparities. C. A dispute over the succession to the throne. D. Political power struggle between the monarchy and Parliament. Answer: D. Political power struggle between the monarchy and Parliament. The primary reason for the English Civil War was the political power struggle between the monarchy, led by King Charles I, and Parliament, leading to a series of armed conflicts. Question 11. Name the acts that constitute the UK's constitution. A. The Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights and the Acts of Union. B. The Human Rights Act, the Scotland Act and the Good Friday Agreement. C. The Acts of Union, the Parliament Acts and the Human Rights Act. D. The Magna Carta, the Parliament Acts and the Acts of Devolution. Answer: A. The Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights and the Acts of Union. These acts are among the key statutes that together constitute the UK's uncodified constitution, shaping the political structure and legal framework of the country. Question 12. What event is marked by Guy Fawkes Night? A. The restoration of the monarchy. B. The signing of the Magna Carta. C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. D. The end of the English Civil War. Answer: C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes Night, also known as Bonfire Night, commemorates the foiling of the Gunpowder Plot, in which Guy Fawkes and other conspirators attempted to blow up the House of Lords. Question 13. Who was the first woman to hold the post of Home Secretary in the UK? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Jacqui Smith. C. Theresa May. D. Priti Patel. Answer: B. Jacqui Smith. Jacqui Smith was the first woman to hold the post of Home Secretary in the UK, serving from 2007 to 2009. Question 14. How did the Battle of the Somme impact World War I? A. It led to a quick victory for the Allies. B. It resulted in significant casualties and highlighted the brutality of trench warfare. C. It caused the United States to enter the war. D. It led to the immediate end of the war. Answer: B. It resulted in significant casualties and highlighted the brutality of trench warfare. The Battle of the Somme was one of the largest battles of World War I, known for its heavy casualties and the grim reality of trench warfare. Question 15. What is the significance of the Battle of Britain in 1940? A. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. B. It marked the beginning of World War II. C. It was the final battle of World War II. D. It led to the Treaty of Versailles. Answer: A. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. The Battle of Britain in 1940 was significant as it was the first major military campaign to be fought entirely in the air, marking a pivotal turning point in the Allied defensive against Nazi Germany. Question 16. Which treaty recognized the independence of the American colonies from Britain? A. The Treaty of Paris 1783. B. The Treaty of Ghent. C. The Treaty of Versailles. D. The Treaty of London. Answer: A. The Treaty of Paris 1783. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 recognized the independence of the American colonies, formally ending the American Revolutionary War. Question 17. Name the ship that Charles Darwin traveled on during his scientific voyage. A. HMS Beagle. B. HMS Endeavour. C. HMS Challenger. D. HMS Discovery. Answer: A. HMS Beagle. Charles Darwin travelled on the HMS Beagle during his scientific voyage, which led to his evolutionary theories. Question 18. What was the main aim of the Great Reform Act of 1832? A. To abolish the slave trade. B. To reform the electoral system by redistributing seats and extending the franchise. C. To establish the Bank of England. D. To declare war on France. Answer: B. To reform the electoral system by redistributing seats and extending the franchise. The Great Reform Act of 1832 aimed to address electoral inequalities by redistributing parliamentary seats more fairly and extending the voting franchise. Question 19. Who are the permanent members of the UK's Security Council? A. This is a trick question. The UK does not have a Security Council. B. The Prime Minister, the Home Secretary, the Foreign Secretary, and the Defence Secretary. C. Representatives from England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. D. The UK, along with China, France, Russia, and the United States, are permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. Answer: D. The UK, along with China, France, Russia, and the United States, are permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. The question refers to the UK's status as one of the permanent members of the UN Security Council, which plays a key role in international peace and security. Question 20. What are the main functions of the Mayor of London? A. To oversee the London Metropolitan Police Service. B. To represent London in the UK Parliament. C. To manage London's transport, housing and environment. D. To legislate laws specific to London. Answer: C. To manage London's transport, housing and environment. The Mayor of London has significant responsibilities, including managing the capital's transport network, housing strategy, and environmental planning. Question 21. What is the judicial role of the House of Lords before the establishment of the Supreme Court? A. It served as the highest court of appeal in the UK. B. It was responsible for criminal trials only. C. It dealt with taxation disputes exclusively. D. It functioned solely as a legislative body. Answer: A. It served as the highest court of appeal in the UK. Before the establishment of the Supreme Court in 2009, the House of Lords functioned as the highest court of appeal in the UK. Question 22. Describe the Beveridge Report's impact on British social policy. A. It led to the reduction of welfare benefits. B. It proposed reforms that laid the foundation for the modern welfare state. C. It focused on strengthening the military. D. It recommended the privatization of healthcare. Answer: B. It proposed reforms that laid the foundation for the modern welfare state. The Beveridge Report, published during World War II, outlined proposals for a comprehensive range of social insurance, from unemployment to health, which laid the groundwork for the establishment of the welfare state. Question 23. What led to the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in 1922? A. The unification of the Scottish and English parliaments. B. The dissolution of the Irish Free State. C. The partition of Ireland and the establishment of Northern Ireland. D. The merger of Wales and England. Answer: C. The partition of Ireland and the establishment of Northern Ireland. The formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in 1922 was a result of the partition of Ireland and the establishment of Northern Ireland, while the rest of Ireland became independent as the Irish Free State. Question 24. What does the Magna Carta symbolize in British democracy? A. The beginning of the monarchy. B. The absolute power of the Parliament. C. The foundation of legal constraints on the monarchy and the protection of personal liberties. D. The establishment of the Church of England. Answer: C. The foundation of legal constraints on the monarchy and the protection of personal liberties. The Magna Carta, sealed in 1215, is a symbol of British democracy, representing the establishment of legal constraints on the monarchy and the protection of personal liberties. Question 25. Who granted the Royal Charter to the East India Company? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King James I. C. Queen Victoria. D. King Charles II. Answer: A. Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I granted the Royal Charter to the East India Company in 1600, authorizing it to trade in the East Indies. Question 26. What was the primary cause of the Peasants' Revolt in 1381? A. Religious reforms. B. Economic hardships and unfair poll taxes. C. The abolition of feudal rights. D. Military conscription. Answer: B. Economic hardships and unfair poll taxes. The primary cause of the Peasants' Revolt in 1381 was economic hardship and resentment towards unfair poll taxes imposed by the government. Question 27. What does the term Whig historically refer to in British politics? A. A political faction known for its revolutionary tendencies. B. A parliamentary group advocating for the abolition of the monarchy. C. A political party supporting the expansion of parliamentary power and opposing absolute monarchy. D. A conservative group opposing changes in traditional institutions. Answer: C. A political party supporting the expansion of parliamentary power and opposing absolute monarchy. Historically, the Whigs were a political group in Britain that supported the expansion of parliamentary power and opposed absolute monarchy, playing a central role in the establishment of constitutional monarchy. Question 28. Who was the first British monarch of the House of Windsor? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. King George V. C. King Edward VII. D. Queen Victoria. Answer: B. King George V. King George V was the first British monarch of the House of Windsor, renaming the royal house from the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha in 1917 due to anti-German sentiment during World War I. Question 29. Name the document that abolished the slave trade in the British Empire. A. The Emancipation Proclamation. B. The Slave Trade Act 1807. C. The Abolition Act 1833. D. The Mansfield Law. Answer: B. The Slave Trade Act 1807. The Slave Trade Act of 1807 abolished the slave trade within the British Empire, marking a significant step towards the eventual abolition of slavery. Question 30. What are the legal distinctions between burglary and robbery in UK law? A. Burglary involves entering a property unlawfully. Robbery involves using force to steal. B. Burglary is theft without confrontation. Robbery requires a legal warrant. C. Both terms are legally synonymous in the UK. D. Burglary involves deception. Robbery involves physical theft. Answer A. Burglary involves entering a property unlawfully. Robbery involves using force to steal. In UK law, burglary involves entering a building unlawfully with the intent to commit a crime, whereas robbery involves using force or threat of force to steal. Question 31. What event prompted the UK to join the European Economic Community? A. The fall of the Berlin Wall. B. Economic pressures and the decline of the British Empire. C. The signing of the Treaty of Rome. D. Military alliances formed during World War II. Answer B. Economic pressures and the decline of the British Empire. The UK was prompted to join the European Economic Community due to economic pressures and the perceived need to secure economic stability following the decline of the British Empire. Question 32. Who was the first British astronaut to spacewalk? A. Tim Peake. B. Helen Sharman. C. Michael Foale. D. Piers Sellers. Answer A. Tim Peake. Tim Peake was the first British astronaut to perform a spacewalk during his mission on the International Space Station in 2016. Question 33. Describe the significance of the Falklands War for the UK. A. It led to significant territorial expansions. B. It was a major defeat and led to changes in defence policy. C. It reaffirmed British sovereignty over the Falklands and boosted national pride. D. It resulted in the loss of British overseas territories. Answer C. It reaffirmed British sovereignty over the Falklands and boosted national pride. The Falklands War in 1982 was significant for the UK as it reaffirmed British sovereignty over the Falkland Islands following an Argentine invasion, and it played a key role in boosting national pride and the government's popularity. Question 34. What was the main objective of the Chartist movement? A. To gain independence for colonial territories. B. To reform the agricultural sector. C. To secure the right to vote for all men. D. To abolish the monarchy and establish a republic. Answer C. To secure the right to vote for all men. The main objective of the Chartist movement in the 19th century was to secure the right to vote for all men, expanding democratic rights beyond the property-owning classes. Question 35. Who led the Conservative Party to victory in the 1979 general election? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. John Major. C. Edward Heath. D. Winston Churchill. Answer A. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher led the Conservative Party to victory in the 1979 general election, becoming the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Question 36. What does the term backbencher refer to in the context of British Parliament? A. A senior member of the government. B. A junior minister. C. A member of Parliament who does not hold governmental office. D. The opposition leader. Answer C. A member of Parliament who does not hold governmental office. In the context of British Parliament, a backbencher refers to a member of Parliament who does not hold governmental office and sits behind the front benches in the House of Commons. Question 37. Name the first Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. A. Robert Walpole. B. William Pitt the Younger. C. Benjamin Disraeli. D. Winston Churchill. Answer A. Robert Walpole. Robert Walpole is generally regarded as the first Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, serving from 1721 to 1742. Question 38. What was the Summingdale Agreement and its impact on Northern Ireland? A. It was a failed attempt to establish a power-sharing executive. B. It successfully ended the Troubles. C. It was an economic agreement to boost investment. D. It partitioned Northern Ireland from the rest of Ireland. Answer A. It was a failed attempt to establish a power-sharing executive. The Summingdale Agreement in 1973 was an attempt to establish a power-sharing executive and a cross-border council in Northern Ireland, but it ultimately failed due to opposition from Unionists and a lack of support from nationalists. Question 39. How did the Glorious Revolution affect the British monarchy? A. It abolished the monarchy. B. It strengthened the absolute power of the monarch. C. It established a constitutional monarchy limiting the monarch's powers. D. It led to a temporary republican government. Answer C. It established a constitutional monarchy limiting the monarch's powers. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 led to the ousting of James II and established William and Mary as joint monarchs, significantly limiting the powers of the monarchy and laying the groundwork for a constitutional monarchy. Question 40. What legislation introduced devolution in Scotland and Wales? A. The Scotland Act 1998 and the Government of Wales Act 1998. B. The Union Act 1707. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Acts of Settlement. Answer A. The Scotland Act 1998 and the Government of Wales Act 1998. These acts introduced devolution for Scotland and Wales, granting them their own parliaments/assemblies with powers over certain areas of domestic policy. Question 41. Name the British monarch during the Golden Jubilee celebrated in 2002. A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. Queen Victoria. C. King George VI. D. King Edward VII. Answer A. Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her Golden Jubilee in 2002, marking 50 years on the throne. Question 42. What treaty ended the Boer War? A. The Treaty of Versailles. B. The Treaty of Paris. C. The Treaty of Vereeniging. D. The Treaty of London. Answer C. The Treaty of Vereeniging. The Treaty of Vereeniging ended the Boer War in 1902, concluding hostilities between the British Empire and Boer forces in South Africa. Question 43. Who was the architect behind St. Paul's Cathedral? A. Christopher Wren. B. Inigo Jones. C. John Nash. D. George Gilbert Scott. Answer A. Christopher Wren. Sir Christopher Wren was the architect behind St. Paul's Cathedral, one of London's most iconic buildings, rebuilt after the Great Fire of London in 1666. Question 44. Describe the primary cause of the Jacobite rebellions. A. Disputes over land ownership in Scotland. B. Religious conflicts between Catholics and Protestants. C. Efforts to restore the Stuart monarchy. D. Economic hardships in the Scottish Highlands. Answer C. Efforts to restore the Stuart monarchy. The primary cause of the Jacobite rebellions was the effort to restore the Stuart monarchy to the thrones of England, Scotland, and Ireland. Question 45. What roles do the Crown dependencies play in relation to the UK? A. They are part of the UK and fully subject to its laws. B. They have their own governments but rely on the UK for defence and international representation. C. They are independent nations that share a monarch with the UK. D. They are fully governed by the UK Parliament. Answer. B. They have their own governments but rely on the UK for defence and international representation. The Crown dependencies, which include the Isle of Man and the Channel Islands, have their own governments and legislatures but depend on the UK for defence and international representation. Question 46. What event led to the imposition of the Marshall Plan? A. The start of the Cold War. B. The end of World War II and the need for European economic recovery. C. Britain's decision to leave the European Union. D. The collapse of the Soviet Union. Answer. B. The end of World War II and the need for European economic recovery. The Marshall Plan was imposed to aid in the economic recovery of European countries after World War II, helping to rebuild war-torn regions and stabilize economies. Question 47. Which British monarch faced the abdication crisis? A. King Edward VIII. B. Queen Elizabeth II. C. King George VI. D. King Henry VIII. Answer. A. King Edward VIII. King Edward VIII faced the abdication crisis in 1936, choosing to abdicate the throne to marry Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee, which was against the advice of the British government. Question 48. What was the primary purpose of the Corn Laws in the 19th century? A. To regulate the import and export of grain. B. To establish agricultural colleges. C. To promote free trade. D. To subsidize the production of corn. Answer. A. To regulate the import and export of grain. The Corn Laws were introduced in the 19th century to regulate the import and export of grain, imposing tariffs and restrictions to protect domestic farmers, but leading to widespread controversy and protests. Question 49. Who was the British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis? A. Harold Wilson. B. Anthony Eden. C. Winston Churchill. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer. B. Anthony Eden. Anthony Eden was the British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis of 1956, which involved an invasion of Egypt after its nationalisation of the Suez Canal. Question 50. What is the legal basis for the establishment of national parks in the UK? A. The National Parks and Access to the Countryside Act 1949. B. The Wildlife and Countryside Act. C. The Environmental Protection Act. D. The Land Reform Act. Answer. A. The National Parks and Access to the Countryside Act 1949. This act provides the legal basis for the establishment and protection of national parks in the UK, aiming to preserve natural beauty and promote public enjoyment. Question 51. Who was the first female Prime Minister of the UK? A. Theresa May. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Elizabeth II. D. Harriet Harman. Answer. B. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher became the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in 1979, serving until 1990. Question 52. What reforms are associated with the post-war consensus? A. Privatization of major industries. B. Expansion of the welfare state and nationalization of key industries. C. Reduction of welfare benefits. D. Deregulation of the financial sector. Answer B. Expansion of the welfare state and nationalization of key industries. The post-war consensus refers to the period following World War II, during which there was broad agreement on the expansion of the welfare state and the nationalization of key industries to ensure economic stability and social welfare. Question 53. Who is the patron saint of England, and what day is celebrated in his honour? A. St. George, April 23. B. St. Andrew, November 30. C. St. David, March 1. D. St. Patrick, March 17. Answer A. St. George, April 23. St. George is the patron saint of England, and St. George's Day is celebrated on April 23. Question 54. Describe the UK's role in the creation of the United Nations. A. The UK was opposed to the formation of the United Nations. B. The UK was a founding member and played a significant role in its establishment. C. The UK joined the United Nations only after its initial formation. D. The UK played a minor role in the creation of the United Nations. Answer B. The UK was a founding member and played a significant role in its establishment. The United Kingdom was one of the original founding members of the United Nations in 1945 and played a significant role in its creation and early development. Question 55. What was the outcome of the Battle of Waterloo? A. A victory for Napoleon Bonaparte. B. A decisive defeat for Napoleon, ending his rule. C. A stalemate that led to further conflicts. D. A British defeat that led to French occupation. Answer B. A decisive defeat for Napoleon, ending his rule. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 resulted in a decisive defeat for Napoleon Bonaparte, effectively ending his rule and marking the end of the Napoleonic Wars. Question 56. Who is the author of The Rights of Man, a fundamental text in British history? A. John Locke. B. Thomas Paine. C. Edmund Burke. D. William Wilberforce. Answer B. Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine is the author of Rights of Man, a fundamental text advocating civil liberties and political rights, published in 1791 to 1792. Question 57. How does the UK's parliamentary system differ from a presidential system? A. The UK system combines legislative and executive powers in Parliament. B. The Prime Minister is elected directly by the public. C. The UK has a ceremonial president. D. The Parliament has no legislative power. Answer A. The UK system combines legislative and executive powers in Parliament. Unlike a presidential system, where the executive branch is separate from the legislature, the UK's parliamentary system combines these powers, with the government deriving its authority from and being accountable to Parliament. Question 58. What is the purpose of the Prime Minister's questions? PMQs. A. To allow the Prime Minister to question the opposition. B. To provide a forum for MPs to question the Prime Minister on any aspect of government policy. C. To discuss private legislation only. D. To elect committee members. Answer B. To provide a forum for MPs to question the Prime Minister on any aspect of government policy. PMQs is a constitutional convention in the United Kingdom where members of Parliament, MPs, have the opportunity to question the Prime Minister about government policies and current issues. Question 59. Name the Act that formally united England and Scotland into Great Britain. A. The Union Act 1701. B. The Act of Settlement 1701. C. The Acts of Union 1707. D. The Magna Carta. Answer. C. The Acts of Union 1707. The Acts of Union 1707 formally united the kingdoms of England and Scotland into a single sovereign state known as Great Britain. Question 60. What was the impact of the Black Death on medieval England? A. It led to a significant increase in the population. B. It caused severe economic decline and labour shortages. C. It had minimal impact on the population or economy. D. It improved healthcare systems. Answer. B. It caused severe economic decline and labour shortages. The Black Death, which struck England in the mid-14th century, led to severe economic decline due to massive population loss and resulting labour shortages, dramatically altering the social and economic landscape. Question 61. Who is credited with discovering penicillin? A. Alexander Fleming. B. Marie Curie. C. Louis Pasteur. D. Robert Koch. Answer. A. Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming is credited with the discovery of penicillin in 1928, which marked the beginning of modern antibiotics. Question 62. Describe the main objectives of the welfare state established post-World War II. A. To reduce government intervention in economic matters. B. To privatize healthcare and education. C. To provide comprehensive social security and public services. D. To increase military spending. Answer. C. To provide comprehensive social security and public services. The main objectives of the welfare state established post-World War II were to provide comprehensive social security, healthcare and education to all citizens, aiming to reduce poverty and improve living standards. Question 63. What is the primary function of the Bank of England? A. To collect taxes. B. To manage the national debt and maintain monetary stability. C. To regulate the legal profession. D. To oversee educational standards. Answer. B. To manage the national debt and maintain monetary stability. The primary function of the Bank of England is to manage the national debt and maintain monetary stability in the UK. Question 64. Which British law established the principle of judicial review? A. The Magna Carta. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Human Rights Act 1998. D. The Act of Settlement 1701. Answer. D. The Act of Settlement 1701. The Act of Settlement 1701 established the principle of judicial review by setting out the conditions under which judges could be removed from office, thus upholding the independence of the judiciary and allowing for the review of government decisions by the courts. Question 65. What significant event did the Reform Acts of 1832, 1867, and 1884 address? A. The abolition of the monarchy. B. Expansion of the electoral franchise. C. Establishment of the National Health Service. D. The Union of Scotland and England. Answer. B. Expansion of the electoral franchise. The Reform Acts of 1832, 1867, and 1884 progressively expanded the electoral franchise in Britain, extending the right to vote to broader segments of the population. Question 66. Who was the longest-serving monarch of the United Kingdom before Queen Elizabeth II? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Queen Anne. D. King Henry VIII. Answer A. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the longest-serving monarch of the United Kingdom before Queen Elizabeth II, reigning from 1837 to 1901. Question 67. What is the royal prerogative? A. The powers traditionally held by the monarchy that are now exercised in their name by government ministers. B. The right of the Parliament to make or overturn any law. C. The judicial powers of the Supreme Court. D. The legislative process in the House of Commons. Answer A. The powers traditionally held by the monarchy that are now exercised in their name by government ministers. The royal prerogative includes powers such as issuing or withdrawing passports, granting honours, and signing treaties. Question 68. Who were the main combatants in the Wars of the Roses? A. The houses of Lancaster and York. B. The houses of Windsor and Tudor. C. The houses of Stuart and Hanover. D. The houses of Plantagenet and Normandy. Answer A. The houses of Lancaster and York. The Wars of the Roses were a series of civil wars fought in the 15th century between the houses of Lancaster and York, both branches of the royal house of Plantagenet. Question 69. What does the Fixed-Term Parliaments Act entail? A. It requires general elections to be held every 5 years. B. It allows the Prime Minister to extend their term indefinitely. C. It eliminates the need for general elections. D. It sets parliamentary terms at 3 years. Answer A. It requires general elections to be held every 5 years. The Fixed-Term Parliaments Act, passed in 2011, sets the interval between general elections at 5 years, stabilising the timing of elections unless a motion for an early election is agreed upon by a supermajority in Parliament or a vote of no confidence is passed. Question 70. Who was responsible for the decolonisation initiatives post-World War II? A. Winston Churchill. B. Clement Attlee. C. Margaret Thatcher. D. Tony Blair. Answer B. Clement Attlee. Prime Minister Clement Attlee, who came to power after World War II, was responsible for overseeing significant decolonisation initiatives leading to the independence of several countries previously under British rule. Question 71. What landmark decision did the Good Friday Agreement achieve? A. It ended the American War of Independence. B. It resolved the conflict in the Falklands. C. It established peace in Northern Ireland. D. It created the European Union. Answer C. It established peace in Northern Ireland. The Good Friday Agreement, signed in 1998, was a landmark decision that helped to bring an end to most of the violence of the Troubles, a period of conflict in Northern Ireland. Question 72. Describe the contributions of Isaac Newton to science and British culture. A. He developed theories on evolution and natural selection. B. He formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation. C. He invented the steam engine. D. He established the first public library in England. Answer B. He formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation. Sir Isaac Newton made groundbreaking contributions to science, particularly with his formulations of the laws of motion and universal gravitation, which have had a lasting impact on science and British cultural heritage. Question 73. What event marked the end of the British Empire? A. The American Revolution. B. The handover of Hong Kong in 1997. C. The signing of the Treaty of Versailles. D. The Battle of Britain. Answer B. The handover of Hong Kong in 1997. The handover of Hong Kong to China in 1997 is often considered the event that marked the end of the British Empire, symbolizing the final major relinquishment of British colonial control. Question 74. Who was the Prime Minister during the London Olympics 2012? A. David Cameron. B. Gordon Brown. C. Tony Blair. D. Theresa May. Answer A. David Cameron. David Cameron was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during the London Olympics in 2012. Question 75. What powers does the Scottish Parliament have? A. It has complete independence from the UK Parliament. B. It can declare war and manage foreign relations. C. It has legislative powers over certain areas such as education, health and justice. D. It handles all economic matters in Scotland. Answer C. It has legislative powers over certain areas such as education, health and justice. The Scottish Parliament has devolved powers to legislate on specific areas, while other powers remain reserved to the UK Parliament. Question 76. How did the Industrial Revolution alter the social structure of Britain? A. It led to a decline in urban populations. B. It emphasized agricultural advancements. C. It led to the growth of the middle class and urbanization. D. It decreased Britain's global influence. Answer C. It led to the growth of the middle class and urbanization. The Industrial Revolution dramatically altered the social structure of Britain by fostering the growth of the middle class and leading to significant urbanization as people moved to cities for industrial employment. Question 77. What role did Britain play in the Treaty of Versailles? A. It was mainly an observer and did not participate in the negotiations. B. It was one of the principal negotiators aiming to impose reparations on Germany. C. It mediated between France and the United States. D. It opposed the treaty and its terms from the outset. Answer B. It was one of the principal negotiators aiming to impose reparations on Germany. Britain played a significant role in the Treaty of Versailles, with its representatives being principal negotiators in the imposition of reparations and territorial adjustments on Germany after World War I. Question 78. What is the principle of habeas corpus? A. It is the right to bear arms. B. It is the practice of being tried by a jury of peers. C. It is the right of a prisoner to be brought before a judge to secure release unless lawful grounds are shown for their detention. D. It is the right to vote. Answer C. It is the right of a prisoner to be brought before a judge to secure release unless lawful grounds are shown for their detention. The principle of habeas corpus is a fundamental legal safeguard against arbitrary detention, ensuring that every prisoner has a right to a fair trial. Question 79. Who were the Young Britons and what was their impact on UK politics? A. A political movement that supported the extension of the vote to women. B. A youth organisation affiliated with the Conservative Party promoting conservative values. C. A radical group advocating for complete independence from the European Union. D. A literary group that introduced modernist themes in British literature. Answer B. A youth organization affiliated with the Conservative Party promoting conservative values. The Young Britons were a youth organization that played a role in promoting conservative values and supporting the Conservative Party's outreach and policy initiatives. Question 80. What led to the formation of the National Health Service? A. The need to boost the economy post-World War II. B. Recommendations from the Beveridge Report to establish comprehensive health and social care. C. A severe epidemic that demanded government action. D. Pressure from pharmaceutical companies. Answer. B. Recommendations from the Beveridge Report to establish comprehensive health and social care. The formation of the National Health Service, NHS, in 1948 was largely influenced by the Beveridge Report, which recommended the creation of comprehensive health and social care services for all citizens, funded by the state. Question 81. What is the significance of the Battle of Agincourt in English history? A. It marked the beginning of the English Renaissance. B. It was a major victory in the 100 Years' War against France. C. It led to the signing of the Magna Carta. D. It resulted in the loss of English territories in France. Answer. B. It was a major victory in the 100 Years' War against France. The Battle of Agincourt in 1415 is significant for its demonstration of the effectiveness of the English longbow and the pivotal role it played in the victory against a numerically superior French army. Question 82. Who wrote the influential series about a young wizard boosting UK tourism and cultural influence? A. J.K. Rowling. B. Philip Pullman. C. Terry Pratchett. D. Neil Gaiman. Answer. A. J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling wrote the Harry Potter series, which has had a significant impact on UK tourism and cultural influence, attracting visitors to locations associated with the books and films. Question 83. What was the primary cause of the English Reformation? A. Political alliances with Protestant states. B. Economic disputes between the nobility and the clergy. C. King Henry VIII's desire to annul his marriage. D. Peasant revolts against church taxes. Answer. C. King Henry VIII's desire to annul his marriage. The primary cause of the English Reformation was King Henry VIII's desire to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, which the Pope refused to sanction, leading to the break with the Catholic Church and the establishment of the Church of England. Question 84. Who is known as the Iron Lady of British politics? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Elizabeth I. C. Theresa May. D. Angela Merkel. Answer. A. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, is known as the Iron Lady for her strong and uncompromising leadership style. Question 85. What historic act is known as Britain's Declaration of Environmental Intent? A. The Climate Change Act 2008. B. The Clean Air Act 1956. C. The Environmental Protection Act 1990. D. The Kyoto Protocol Implementation. Answer. A. The Climate Change Act 2008. The Climate Change Act 2008 is known as Britain's Declaration of Environmental Intent, being the first of its kind to set legally binding carbon reduction targets. Question 86. Name the operation that marked Britain's military response to Iraqi invasion of Kuwait. A. Operation Desert Storm. B. Operation Iraqi Freedom. C. Operation Overlord. D. Operation Market Garden. Answer. A. Operation Desert Storm. Operation Desert Storm in 1991 marked Britain's military response, alongside coalition forces, to the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait. Question 87. What does the British term shadow cabinet refer to? A. A group of unofficial advisers to the monarch. B. The secret gathering of opposition leaders. C. The official opposition's counterpart to the cabinet, consisting of members who scrutinize and oppose government policies. D. A historical council that advised the king in medieval times. Answer: C. The official opposition's counterpart to the cabinet, consisting of members who scrutinize and oppose government policies. The shadow cabinet is a feature of the Westminster system of government, crucial for maintaining checks and balances in parliamentary procedure. Question 88. Who was the first Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England? A. Oliver Cromwell. B. Richard Cromwell. C. Charles II. D. James I. Answer: A. Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell was the first Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England, serving from 1653 until his death in 1658. Question 89. What were the main terms of the Act of Union 1707? A. The formal unification of England and France. B. The establishment of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, merging the parliaments of England and Scotland. C. The division of Ireland from Great Britain. D. The creation of a dual monarchy between England and Spain. Answer: B. The establishment of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, merging the parliaments of England and Scotland. The Act of Union 1707 united the English and Scottish parliaments, forming the Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 90. What is the significance of the Enclosure Acts in agricultural history? A. They promoted the use of organic farming methods. B. They consolidated fragmented lands into single farms, changing the landscape of rural England. C. They banned the use of mechanical farming equipment. D. They established public ownership of all agricultural land. Answer: B. They consolidated fragmented lands into single farms, changing the landscape of rural England. The Enclosure Acts were significant for transforming agricultural practice by consolidating small strips of land into larger farms, thus increasing efficiency, but also contributing to social upheaval and migration to cities. Question 91. Who is known for the creation of the National Trust? A. Charles Darwin. B. Octavia Hill. C. John Ruskin. D. Beatrix Potter. Answer: B. Octavia Hill. Octavia Hill is known as one of the founders of the National Trust, established in 1895 to preserve and protect historic places and natural beauty in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Question 92. What legal change resulted from the case of proclamations in 1610? A. The king could no longer legislate without Parliament's consent. B. The establishment of judicial review. C. The abolition of the Star Chamber. D. The requirement for regular sessions of Parliament. Answer: A. The king could no longer legislate without Parliament's consent. The case of proclamations in 1610 was a significant legal ruling that stated the king did not have the authority to create laws without the consent of Parliament, emphasizing the separation of powers. Question 93. What significant shift did the Representation of the People Act 1918 accomplish? A. It granted voting rights to all men over the age of 21. B. It extended voting rights to women over the age of 30. C. It abolished the property qualification for voting. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. The Representation of the People Act 1918 was significant as it extended voting rights to all men over the age of 21, women over the age of 30, and abolished most property qualifications, thereby significantly expanding the electorate. Question 94. Who led the Great Exhibition of 1851? A. Queen Victoria. B. Prince Albert. C. Benjamin Disraeli. D. Charles Dickens. Answer: B. Prince Albert. Prince Albert was the key figure behind the organisation of the Great Exhibition of 1851, which was held in London's Hyde Park and showcased the innovations of the Industrial Revolution. Question 95. What was the primary aim of the British East India Company? A. To explore uncharted territories. B. To promote cultural exchange between Britain and India. C. To conduct trade between Britain and the East Indies. D. To colonize the Americas. Answer: C. To conduct trade between Britain and the East Indies. The primary aim of the British East India Company, established in 1600, was to carry out trade in the East Indies, but it eventually also came to rule large areas of India.